So I want to give a better backstory. I was served with divorce papers in February of 2023. I was currently at that point a stay-at-home parent, and I'll make a video going more in depth onto the premise of the paperwork that I was served in a different video, but pretty much since I was served, when I was served, immediately after being served, I was locked out of the marital bedroom. And then 2 weeks later, I was put on the street. And I've been living in my car since February 2023. And it hasn't been easy. Being homeless never is easy, but the things that are put in place to help protect people from domestic abuse and help people get off the street, a lot of it's not applicable to me because I'm still married. And a lot of agencies don't look at men as being domestically abused. Even though, yes, I am being financially abused, I am being denied my right to housing, my parental rights are being abused. I'm so low mentally that I feel like I have aged more in the 3 years than I actually am in actual years. And like I'm doing things that I would never do. And I'm like lashing out at people who are helping me, and I really shouldn't. And that at some point, I feel like I'm driving everybody away who's in my life still at this point, because I'm so stressed. Like I rarely get to see my kids. I'm living under a non-existent restraining order. I'm legally being abused, and apparently there's nothing no one can do to help me. My identity was stolen, my credit was destroyed, and like I'm living in a car that my wife owns, and she still makes payments, like the insurance and registration payments. Like she did a lot. This was more than a divorce. And like immediately upon me being thrown out onto the street illegally, the locks changed. And like the police told me I couldn't go back to the house and I'm not allowed back in the town, but there's never really a reason given. There's no restraining order. Like we're still at go on our divorce 3 years later, 4 years later. Like I don't even know at this point. I've stopped counting because it's just like it shouldn't exist. It shouldn't happen. Like everyone is so vocal against domestic abuse, and myself included. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're someone who is also experiencing domestic abuse, sometimes you don't view it as domestic abuse until somebody else tells you, like, hey, you're being abused. Like, abuse isn't always hands on skin. Like, it's hard. It's hard waking up and trying to continue through your day knowing that, like, there's really nothing to clock out and go home to. Like, yeah, I'm working, I'm making enough to survive, but survive how? Because 3 years later, I'm still in my car. And, like, that's a heavy weight to bear. Because, like, I'm not even in my car. I'm in a car that my wife owns, my jailer owns. You know, and like I'm working towards what? There is no end goal because my money, I really can't save it. You know, like it comes and it goes. And there's really nothing to save towards, you know, and like I have thought about taking the easy way out because like sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but I can't. I've got kids, and like those kids need to see me somehow survive. You know, and like sometimes I do think I'm broken, but what's broken can be fixed. Sometimes it needs a little help. And you know, like it's gonna take me a lot. It's gonna be a long road to just get. I don't know. It's gonna take a long time just to rebuild, just to find that goal. I feel like that's what I need to do at this point, is to find a goal to work towards. Because, like, yes, I have so many goals, but I need to pick one and stay to that, and then everything else will follow. I'm pretty sure this is done, but yeah, it's done. It was Kaleidoscope and Dope, a mixture, but I'll be back with another video soon.